How's everyone doing? Woo! Since this talk is very psychology inspired, so I just want you guys to get in the mood. So just repeat after me, okay? Psycho! All right, let's start. We've all heard of the idea of only accessing 10% of our brains. And if we find a way to access 100%, we'll discover the sixth or the seventh sense. So I just want to know how many of you believe this is true. Can I see a show of hands? Cool. Well, here's a neuroimaging scan. This is the old PowerPoint. Hand coming. There should be a neuroimaging scan here of somebody that's completely normal, yet most of their brain is in action. Though this idea is definitely a myth, it could have stemmed from how much of our mind is conscious and how much actually isn't. The mind isn't physical like the brain. It's more sort of a state. When I was looking up its definition, I couldn't find exactly what it was. They all wrote that it's our awareness of the world around us and how we perceive it. To see, feel, hear, to experience. But something caught my attention. It was the same exact definition for the consciousness, which was also your awareness for the world around you and how you perceive it. But if this were the case, this means that our mind is made up of just the consciousness, which is not necessarily true. There's another essential part that wasn't mentioned, a part that has an equal or even greater effect on us, which is the unconscious. Now, hold your horses before you start attacking me. The word is called unconscious, not subconscious. It's not technically correct. I had to put on my nerdy IB psychology glasses for you there. It's an element that makes up most of our existence, yet we know so little about. Maybe once we understand what it is and how it works, we'll be able to understand our needs and our behavior. And our decisions can become more psychologically healthy. Sigmund Freud, a neurologist known as the father of theories on human behavior, theorized that the unconscious is made up of repressed thoughts that are constantly trying to be expressed. At the time of his father's death, he fell into a depression, and he was only able to understand why he was so affected by it through analyzing his dream. And dreams are one of those places where these unconscious or repressed thoughts finally get a chance to be expressed. Even though their meaning is sometimes hard to understand, some psychologists even consider dream interpretations because they could potentially hold a rich amount of information on our emotions. Like Freud, I like to analyze my dreams. So there's this one, it was actually a nightmare that I remember, where I got bit by a dog in the neck. And when I looked it up, a few sources said that I was caught up between listening to my heart and my mind, something that I wanted versus something that I knew was right for me. These sources could be credible or not, but I will say it was pretty accurate at the time. I had to make a really important decision, and I couldn't decide which I was going to listen to. So I ended up using my mind, because I knew that that was right for me. And guess what? That was the same decision that my gut feeling was already telling me to lean towards in the first place. And it got to weigh out the situation before my conscious mind had a chance to even think of it. The unconscious is basically like a whole realm where all these mechanisms work together. It's also the old PowerPoint. You can find these hidden messages everywhere in everything you do. Let's say, for instance, something breaks, like a glass vase. If I don't believe in coincidences, even if it was, I could extract a life lesson from it. I could say that I need to be more careful with how I deal with things that are valuable to me, whether it's a person, a goal, or an object. And sometimes these statements can seem, very out there and general, but that's most likely what you need to do. Your mind already knows what's best for you. You just need to pay attention and listen to what it's trying to communicate to your awareness. Okay, forget that. Now, the unconscious, let's just get into a mindfulness exercise. And I want you guys to just close your eyes, sit back, straight back. Get ready. Close your eyes. All right. I want you to notice the way you're breathing. Is it through your nose, through your mouth? Is it fast or slow? Feel your feet on the ground, your back on the beanbag or the chair. Notice any physical pain you could be feeling. A cramp, a headache maybe. I want you to open your eyes now. All of those thoughts and feelings were unconscious, but with some awareness, you're able to bring it to a conscious state. Now, the more you get good at practicing this, the more it becomes a habit. And the more you get good at this, you'll be able to build the better connection between the realm that lives right in between your ears, and it will serve to build instead of break you. Thank you.